Hello students, in the last class we studied about the characteristic features of the kingdom fungi, and on the basis of the morphology of the mycelium, the mode of spore formation and fruiting bodies, the kingdom fungi is classified into 4 classes. They are Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. Today in this video we are going to study about all the 4 classes of fungi in detail. Let us start with Phycomycetes. Members of Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habitat and on decaying wood, in moist and damp places, or as obligate parasites on plants. The mycelium is aseptate and choanocytic. You know what is the meaning of choanocytic? A continuous tube filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. There will be no cross walls. Asexual reproduction takes place by 2 types of spores, zoospores and aplanospores. Zoospores are motile and aplanospores are non-motile. These spores are developed endogenously in sporangium. Endogenously means inside. Endogenously in sporangium. Sexual reproduction also takes place by the formation of zygospores, by the fusion of 2 gametes. These gametes may be similar in morphology or dissimilar in morphology. If they are similar in morphology, they are known as isogamous, and if they are dissimilar in morphology means their structure, they are called anisogamous. The common examples for Phycomycetes are mucor, rhizopus. Do you know what is rhizopus? Yes, bread mold. And then albugo. This is a parasitic fungi. So Phycomycetes are aquatic, and then mycelium choanocytic, and then asexual also, and sexual reproduction also takes place. Examples are mucor, rhizopus, albugo. Now shall we move on to the next class, that is Ascomycetes. They are commonly known as sac fungi. The Ascomycetes are mostly multicellular. Example, penicillium. Do you know what is penicillium? Yes. Penicillin is produced from antibiotic. The famous antibiotic penicillin is produced from this penicillium. And then maybe rarely unicellular. Example is yeast. These Ascomycetes are saprophytic. Some are decomposers, and then some are parasitic, and some are coprophilous. What is coprophilous? They grow on dung. And their mycelium is septate and branched. Septate means they have cross walls. Here in this Ascomycetes, the asexual spores are conidia. They are produced exogenously in conidiophores. They are produced exogenously on the special mycelium called conidiophores. These conidia, they germinate into mycelium, and sexual spores are called ascospores. They are produced endogenously in sac-like structure known as asci. The singular form is ascus. This is asci is plural. These asci are arranged in different types of fruiting bodies called ascocarp. Ascocarp. Some examples are aspergillus, neurospora, morels and truffles. These 2 are edible and are considered delicates. So This class, that is Ascomycetes, they are multicellular, maybe unicellular or saprophytic or decomposers or parasites or coprophilous, and the mycelium is septate and branched. Asexual spores also are produced and sexual spores are also produced. Example, Aspergillus. Now, we will see about the next class, Basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes, they are commonly known forms of Basidiomycetes are mushrooms, fungi. They grow in soil, on logs, on tree stumps. In living plant bodies, they live as parasites. Example, rust and smut. And then here in Basidiomycetes, the mycelium is branched and septate. The asexual spores are generally not found. Here, asexual spores are not found. No asexual spores. But vegetative reproduction by fragmentation is common. No asexual spores, but vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. You know what is fragmentation? The body will divide into so many fragments, and each and every fragment will develop into a new individual. And then here in sexual reproduction, the sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy is brought about by the fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells of different strains or genotypes. The resultant structure is dikaryon. You know dikaryon, two nuclei will be there, but they after some time only they will fuse together and they form a zygote like structure. Now, dikaryotic phase is seen in Basidiomycetes, and then this resultant structure is dikaryotic, which ultimately gives rise to basidium. This dikaryotic phase ultimately gives rise to basidium. Karyogamy and meiosis takes place in the basidium, and it produces 4 basidiospores. 4 basidiospores are produced, and these basidiospores are exogenously produced on the basidium. The fruiting body is basidiocarp. Here the fruiting body is ascocarp. Okay. Example for Basidiomycetes are agaricus, that is common mushroom, and puccinia, that is rust fungi. Shall we move on to the next class of fungi, that is Deuteromycetes. They are commonly known as imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases of these fungi are known. When the sexual forms of these fungi were discovered, they were moved into classes they rightly belong to. So Deuteromycetes are known as imperfect fungi because we know only the asexual and vegetative phases of this Deuteromycetes. When sexual phases were known, they are shifted to Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. Later, when the linkages were established, the fungi were correctly identified and moved out of Deuteromycetes. Once perfect stages of members of Deuteromycetes were discovered, they were often moved on to this Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. The Deuteromycetes reproduce only by asexual spores known as conidia. Asexual spores, conidia. The mycelium is septate. They have cross walls and they are branched, and some may be decomposers or some saprophytes are parasites, while a large number of them are decomposers. They are decomposers on litter and they help in mineral cycling. Some examples are Alternaria and Trichoderma. So, Deuteromycetes are commonly known as imperfect fungi. Very important, this Deuteromycetes. Often they ask. And then asexual and vegetative reproduction is known. When only asexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction is known, they are placed in Deuteromycetes. When the sexual phase of the members of the fungi are known, then they are shifted to Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. They reproduce by asexually by producing conidia. And the mycelium is septate and branched. Some are decomposers, some are saprophytes, and some are parasites. Examples are Alternaria and Trichoderma. Next class, we will study about the kingdom Plantae, Animalia, and then viruses, viroids, and lichens. Thank you, students.